Alright, it's October 28th. We are all set up. It's just getting enough daylight to do an interview here. Back in the same spot we were hunting last night. After this 6x5 and another buck I forgot to mention last night. That bladed 8 that I had on camera last year, I've had 2 years of pictures of him, has shown up again. He's a great buck. He's, if I had to guess, at least 6 years old. Just a big-bodied, mature buck. He's got a nice kicker off of his left G too. Pretty cool, but he'd be a one I'd definitely love to see. But this 6x5 I know is living in here too. When we came in here, I'm not sure if you can hear the goose calls off in the distance, but there's some waterfowl hunters in here, and then there's another group of bow hunters. Look like a father and a son, so I think today is also pheasant opener. So we've had gunshots going off ever since shooting light started, so it's either going to work in our favor and have the deer stirred up, or it's going to shut everything down and we're not going to see anything, so we'll see. This crossing is a killer spot, and historically it's been really good. You know, I've ran cameras here 2 years in a row, and I mean, right around this time every year, it's been really, really hot, so we'll see. The 6x5 has been in here. Bladed 8 hasn't been on this camera yet, but I know he works through here, so see how it goes. I saw him running for a second. Yep. Yep, I'm on him. Soft clip. Yeah. Might still come around. Of course they freaking came behind us, dude. God. It definitely ain't that cold. Oh, that was a great buck. I have no idea what deer that is. I was telling Dragos, you are rolling. Well, that was a great buck. I have no idea what deer that is. I was telling Dragos when we sat up here yesterday that this could be a spot. This is one of those spots where random bucks will come through all the time. Man, I'm shaking bad. I basically just looked over, because a lot of the deer come from this way going into the bedding in the mornings. and I looked over and could see a couple does running in the woods. Dude, I'm shaking bad. And I could see a couple does running in the timber right there on the edge of the timber. And I saw a rack. I glassed and I saw a rack. And I thought it was a smaller one. I couldn't see the tops of his tines. I could just see his beams. And he was looking ahead. And then he pops out in the open right there. And I was like, that's a real good buck. Real framey. That kind of looks like the one we jumped in the summer. That kind of looks like that one, but he was sweet. I mean, he reminds me of DK, honestly. Big framey, 8 or 9, I think. And of course, they come behind us instead of out here in front. But he was on him. I mean, that was like the rut. That was crazy. They definitely got our wind. They're basically straight downwind of us. You have to give up something in this spot, which is this little 40-yard at most strip in between us and the river. And they do have one trail right along the river that goes through that, so. That was awesome. He's a stud. I'd love to know what deer that is. We'll have to look back at it. He's pretty sweet. Ooh, let's go. That fires me up, if you can't tell. I know that buck from last year. He's with a doe. Alright, well, it's only about 8:45, but these guys have just been blasting away over here. They're probably about 100 yards away, but it sure doesn't sound like it, so I don't really think at this point we're going to see much natural movement through this spot. But, I was thinking about, Dragos and I were talking about that encounter, and it seemed like most likely those deer were spooked. I thought that he was dogging those does at first because there weren't any gunshots that had gone off yet close by, and so I thought he was on those does, but on second thought, it just seemed like, I don't know, their body language or whatever it was just made me think that they got spooked by something up there. So that's kind of the direction that the duck hunters are in, and so they easily could have gotten their wind and spooked, or they could have heard them talking or something. So don't think that they'll be coming back through, or really anything else for that matter. So got lots of work to do back home, so we're gonna probably just head out for the morning. I'd really like to get back here tonight, and I feel like this could be good tonight. Hopefully nobody else is in here, but we'll see. Hopefully we see you this afternoon. Well, it is the afternoon of October 28th, and we ended up coming back out here to the spot we hunted this morning. Gotta be honest, it's been really nice just having this set and already hung. We just have to climb up, set up the camera gear, and roll from there. So we got in pretty cleanly. There was a huge flock of red-winged blackbirds just hanging out for a while, and they were making tons of noise like they do. And even though it's really calm right now, we were able to just basically walk at a normal pace and get right in here, which worked out pretty nicely. So hoping that one of these bucks shows up tonight, whether it's that one we saw this morning, 6x5, or the bladed 8, or one of these other ones. It's just this killer crossing. It's bedding right here. We're basically right on the edge of it. And they have a few trails that kind of trickle out of here, but they also kind of come from back behind us as well. And then they're also traveling from this side and coming this way, so really they could be coming from either side. It's one of my favorite spots. Hopefully we can get it done out of this stand. I feel pretty good about tonight. Fingers are crossed. Hopefully tonight's the night. Got about 10 minutes left. Not exactly the hunt I thought we'd have. Thought we'd at least see something, but got a possum dinking around right below us here. We've had some turkeys move through, but that's about it. Not expecting that on October 28th, but it's public land, I guess. Maybe something will still poke out here, but it's gonna wrap it up. Probably won't hunt tomorrow, but hopefully we can make it back out soon.